Hi everyone, welcome to One Six Figure Focus. You're very welcome to episode number 37 of The Focus, the live stream where I just jump on with friends and chat about anything six scale related. So, bring in Alan really quickly there. How are you, Alan?
I'm good. How are you?
Good stuff, can't complain. Sure, look, Mando 3, it's 3 season or trailer has dropped. It
Mm,
looks good, the hype is real.
looks really
We've
good.
got things like I'm wrestling with a bit of FOMO myself at the moment, something that I'm usually under control, but we're going to get to that. And yeah, I I'm just gonna we're just gonna address the chat. There's a lot to talk about. There's
It's
a lot to
popping
talk
off.
about. Yeah. Just to get a bit of music going here and some banners. Okay, we'll take a look at the chat anyway. We've got Andre. I can't miss this. A bit of FOMO. And we have Noble Young here. It's Popsick is here. Good stuff. He's 1/6 figure focusing on getting the stream ready. He'll be live shortly. Thanks very much. We've got. I need to give Shiny the blue wrench, I think, at this stage. Love a bit of FOMO. Yeah. He's been hanging around with Leia for too long. No. I've still got the focus.
Still
Man.
focused.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, like the thing is about the focus is like, yeah, you can be as focused as you want, but every now and then you just see something and you just,
I want one.
you know, it's just we go through those phases. So,
Hell yeah, man.
we have Shiny, Martin K, Ryan, Mr. Mom's Collectibles. How are you, Ryan? We've got a lot of people. There's fear of messaging others, fear of meeting others, or fear of
I have both of them.
fear of meeting otters. Actually, do you have the otters or others?
Probably the otters as well.
Yeah, otters are kind of weird creatures, I think.
Yeah.
Fear of massaging oranges. Oh, you dirty boy. Six scale Padawan. Keith's got a new kind of like an AI there.
Yeah,
Or
I
really
noticed.
cool. Yeah. Hello, figure. He actually looks kind of like a. It's like this is like almost like Clone Wars, Keith.
Yeah.
It's like the Clone Wars version, you know. Hello, fellow focus disciples. In this economy, dopos are less common. I'd imagine FOMOs would be the same. Yeah, you're not wrong. I think people are definitely tightening the belts and maybe deciding what's important. I think Leal always says like I've got the FOMO down under control. But I think I just maybe speak about one thing anyway, which I was teetering on. But I think I've got it under control. Fear of Mandalorian outrage. That's my favorite one. Empire Strikes. We have Alan warming up the chat as well. DK. Fomology. I like that word. I might actually do a video on it. I just kind of popped it up there before we started. It seemed like a good place to start. I think, yeah, that could be a good idea. Fear of missing out on Focus' stream. Martin K, that's funny. Mike with all the exclamation marks. We have some guy. Ben, the attention seeking geek, who is very close to 1,000, I think. I'm pretty sure he's accepted it. I think he's accepted it. He's going to the 1K.
He's
So
going
be
to
a
the
G.
promised land.
Yeah, the promised land of super chats and tiny ad revenue. The super chats are good, but then the ad revenue is just hilarious when you look at it. But anyway, every little helps. Shiny, if you gave me the blue wrench, I'd be Gandalf with the ring. I'd go insane and ban exclamation marks to oppress Mike Fiel. You'll be like, you shall not pass, and put all the exclamation marks. I've lost multiple NRDs thanks to FOMO. This is a thing. Yeah, this is a thing. We have from Australia, Mark 6 Scale Dad. Good stuff. I think it's cool the way you see people in these streams from all around the world.
Yeah.
T Artman, T Ria. Smash the like button, folks and focusers. If you are in the chat and it's your first time to the channel and you like the content, maybe you'll consider liking and subscribing and doing the same thing to Alan's channel. I believe I have your banner up here from the last time. I think the last time you were on at that stage, yeah, there we go. Is this the correct information?
It is, yeah. So it's that on Instagram and YouTube as well.
Grand, so that's easy to remember. So if you haven't done so already, check out Follow on Instagram at the 6 Scale Gallery. Some amazing portrait photography of these amazing 1/6 scale pieces. And subscribe to the 6 Scale Gallery on Instagram. I haven't watched your latest video about the comparison between, is the DX19 head sculpt and a custom?
Yeah.
Right.
I messaged you, didn't I, about a voiceover, and I wanted your advice, and I opted to not do one. Well, I did one, but I felt like it brought the production value down. I was like, nah.
Right. So you prefer just a showcase, like?
I think so. Yeah.
And
we'll see
cool as well. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying there. Sometimes it's like something looks really classy, and then if you have one bit that you're not happy about, it can play in your mind a bit.
Yeah.
And no one likes hearing themselves back on videos. That's just, you do get used to it.
Okay.
All right, so I don't want to hold the audience captive. I'm just going to show them what we're going to be doing, and then if they like what they hear or see, we will continue on. Oh, but first, Empire Strikes Again. His photography is outstanding. So good stuff.
Thank you.
You're right. It is outstanding. In a community that has a lot of amazing photographers, yours still stands out.
I am boss with the pile, I think.
No, you wouldn't say that. No. New videos, new live streams. We're gonna touch on the Wonder Woman, the new Hot Toys Wonder Woman that has been released from 1984. We will skim through the Mando season 3 trailer. I think a lot of people are going to be hyped on that. We're going to talk about Fomology. I have a piece in mind which I'm struggling with. We'll get to that. And then Alan, I believe you have a piece that you're struggling with as well. This is something we haven't ordered, but we're teetering.
I'm on the edge. Okay.
Brilliant. Good stuff. And then we're going to go through some stuff that might be on the chopping block. Not necessarily that you might be selling, but if you had to sell. I'm all about these fire figures. The 3 items that you'd save in a fire. We're going to flip it and go, right, what 3 items?
How'd you let Ben?
Yeah, exactly. If you had to sell 3 things, what would you do? And that could be a reality. It could be a reality. So, okay, really quickly, I'm just going to fly through this. I don't want to bore people with the thing yet. The giveaway, not the giveaway, the charity thing. The reason I still have it up there, it's done now. I'm finished with that now. The reason it's still there is because YouTube don't pay out December until the 21st of January, so I'm waiting until they do that so I can officially make that donation. But I'm just waiting for 4 more days, and then they pay out, and then I can donate the last bit of this, which would give us a grand total of €1,120.14 or $1,194.76, which is going to the Temple Street Children's Hospital in Dublin. I'm not going to so that's done now. War Machine Mark 1 review is now live on the channel. And Loki, Endgame Loki, is incoming. Did an episode of Visions with Ryan from Jedi Patrol. Sat down and got to chat to him. Very interesting conversation. So that's live on the channel. And last week we, I can't remember what day this was. It was a few days ago. Talked about Inart and how good this witchcraft is that they are producing in these prototypes.
I'm just looking into his eyes. I'm just mesmerized. Look at them.
It's just,
wow.
It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. All right, so we'll start off with Wonder Woman, and you can talk, Alan. Okay. I'm going to flick through some of these photos. Just give us your rundown. This is actually my first time fully looking at these photos. So just tell us whatever. I mean, what do you think?
I really like it. I think the neck looks very long. Like I think on the previous picture, it looks like look at that.
Yeah.
It's very giraffe-like from that angle, especially. Some angles, it's maybe not as offensive, but I think it's probably to do with the sculpted hair, isn't it? Just to kind of give it enough clearance.
Maybe
possibly,
quite possibly.
So that's a little distracting, but on the whole, I think I have the Justice League Wonder Woman just up there. And looking at this, I'm really tempted to replace that one with this one. Like this one doesn't come with the sword and the shield, but I have them already. I could just give them to her. And I think the proportions are better as well. I mean, the neck looks quite bad there, but I think she's a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger. Do you know what I mean? She's not that one's very skinny. So
As
yeah.
in, this one here is very skinny, is it?
No, the Justice League one, the previous one.
I see. I got
She's
you.
quite skinny.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I saw someone compare the two on Instagram. Like they held them like next to each other, and this one does look like a little bit thicker in the arms and things like that, like a you know, an Amazon would. I mean that looks awesome. I think, and the likeness is, I think, pretty strong.
I don't
Yeah,
see
man,
the
I'm down
likeness
for
here
it.
at all.
Do you not?
No.
It's not fully there,
Yeah.
but it's enough. You know, it would kind of, it would please me. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, I can see past the kind of the mini flaws.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's split the community a bit. Like I like it's kind of. I to be honest, I haven't even been looking at the Facebook groups and seeing what people are saying. I think I heard about it on I think I was watching Graham the Jedi Knights watch and Marco and everyone saying, and I think Graham, I can't remember who else. I think Graham said he liked the likeness. I really don't see it.
I think it's stronger in some angles than others. I think it's compared to the Justice League version, it's miles better, because I think that one
right there.
It really doesn't, does it?
No. I hadn't even. This is literally my first time scrolling through these, and I know what Gal Gadot looks like. This like Gal Gadot is one of these people who is like, I'm convinced was genetically designed in a lab for pure perfection. Like this, to me, this looks a little bit more like Gal Gadot. Now
Gal Gadot.
Yeah, like in terms of like a Wonder Woman representative, I think it looks really cool. Like I besides I did not see the neck until you pointed it out to me there.
Sorry,
but in terms, now I can't unsee it. Like, but like in terms of like if you wanted I don't know, a comic book looking Wonder Woman, I think this would be pretty damn good. I really like the color combinations of the outfit and the gauntlet.
Works really well, doesn't it?
Yeah, and she's like, the body proportions, she looks like, she doesn't just look like, you know, skinny. She looks like almost like, I don't want to say CrossFit, but like she just looks strong. She looks like athletic. She looks athletic. I think they've done a great job in the hair as well.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think the
general proportions.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, I think the issue with the neck is, with that picture in particular, the previous one, the head was turned. So I don't know if the hair kind of frames it better when it's like front on, if you know what I mean. If she's looking straight ahead, maybe it kind of conceals it a little bit better than when kind of, I don't know.
I'm glad they went like, it's I don't know where they, like, it's obviously seamless arms, and then here I'm not sure would there be a joint underneath these boots, or is it seamless as well. But I really like the design of the outfit. Like,
it's great.
Like I haven't seen this movie. I just know it probably isn't for me.
You know what? Like, it's one of my guilty pleasures. I think I quite enjoyed it. Yeah,
I might sit down and watch it.
I mean, it's tonally, it's completely different to the first one. But I watched it when it was a 2020 thing. Didn't have anything else to do, and it was one of the first films that you could, it went straight to kind of, you could just buy it. You know what I mean? Because I don't think it was screened in cinemas. And I was like, oh, the new Wonder Woman, we can just watch it like right now.
And Gal Gadot is very, very easy to watch.
It helps definitely.
It's like an eye massage.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a guilty pleasure. And oh god, what's his name? Plays the Mandalorian. He's
to plays the man Pedro Pascal.
Jesus, I can't believe I forgot his name.
Oh yeah, he's in that, isn't he?
He's in that. Yeah. He plays the.
And is Chris Pine in it as well?
Yeah. I think it's okay. It's I don't want to recommend it because it might be, you might think it's awful. But it's definitely guilty.
Oh,
pleasure.
I'm sure I 100% will. Like,
Yeah.
like
I mean, I got speaking of. Well, I don't know if it's awful or not, but I got this in the post today. Don't know if you can see that.
I cannot.
It's Black Adam.
Oh, right.
I've not seen it yet. I've heard bad things.
I don't want to spoil it.
But yeah, I don't know. I was morbidly curious. So
yeah, like a
I
lot,
feel
a
like
lot of
it's the
people
same.
say it's a fun film. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. Yeah, like this is strange. I think I don't know. I'd say if you're like a diehard comic book collector and you want a representation of Wonder Woman, I think this is pretty cool.
I think so too. I can see where Shiny's coming from. Like it, I've definitely seen better likenesses. I think Jackson's used doing a head sculpt. I inquired about it actually, and it was quite expensive. And I thought I can't do that. And he's really nailed the likeness. I think
this is Jackson Shoe.
Yeah,
what was he doing?
Head sculpt.
Head sculpt. I didn't realize. I knew he does capes.
Yeah, well, he's done a Captain America sculpt. He's done a couple. He's done a helmeted, and I think he's done an unhelmeted. He's done a He's done a Heath Ledger Joker, and he's done.
Who hasn't done a Heath Ledger Joker? Yeah.
Who hasn't? Damn it doesn't. But he's really nailed the likeness, and if Inart showed me one tomorrow, I know that I would go for it 100%.
Yeah, you 100%. See, this here, Mike raises a great point. If art, pardon me, wasn't a thing, this would probably be better received. Like
nail on the head there.
It'd be interesting to see. Like, okay, they really only have one release and a few prototypes, but the prototypes look amazing. So like, it'd be interesting to see when they do like a young female, no wrinkles or beard or mustache and stuff, or something to scars or something to grasp onto. Like, will they be able to replicate that? And like, I'm really interested to see that, even though I wouldn't be picking up a Gal Gadot Wonder Woman or
it's definitely interesting to see, isn't it? Because they've done really well so far, but they've all been men. So I don't know, man. I think they could do it.
Yeah, like they you never know. Like I from what I've seen so far, I have no reason to think that they won't do a good job. Like, you know what I mean? But I mean, they might struggle with like you never know. Like I know that Hot Toys do better with old wrinkly white dudes than they do with like kind of younger females.
Yeah.
So
this might be their niche.
Maybe they'll struggle. Maybe Inart will have the problem struggling with kind of young pretty people like Gal Gadot or Legolas. Like it's, like he's the man's pretty.
Very pretty, very smooth.
Yeah. So yes, this would work better as a generic Wonder Woman representation in Gal Gadot. Yeah, I really like the outfit and the proportion, apart from maybe the neck thing that now I can't unsee. But
sorry,
you shouldn't listen to me anyway, because I just talking like I'm not a fan of the DCU, so I was never going to pick it up no matter how good it is. So I don't think my opinion counts really. But I need this figure. This is the best Wonder Woman in my opinion. Sculpted hair is good. The armor looks great. Yeah, it's much brighter in sculpt. The sculpt is great. Do you really think the likeness is there though, Popsic? Just what would you give it out of 10? I'm interested. I'm curious to know what would you give it out of 10. It's Popsic. But I definitely agree with you with the it probably is the best version, and it has the armor's good, and I really think the sculpted hair is good. I think
I know it's like a little bit more vibrant than the Justice League version. Yeah, but so like it wouldn't bother me, because I would literally just put it straight on the Justice League base, and it would be it would complete the lineup. And that one would just go back in the box, because the hair, the rooted hair is abysmal. It is like a Barbie doll. Yeah, and it really lets it down, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Hot Toys do good rooted hair ever. Like I can't. Well, if there is one, I haven't seen it. That's really good. So Johnny is giving his review of Black Adam, but Ben has the comment of the night so far. Did you keep the receipt for that Blu-ray?
You know what? Like, to be fair, I'm just commenting now. I do like the box art. It's very classy.
It's also probably the best part of that DVD.
Probably, yeah, probably.
This looks like Gal Gadot. This looks more like Gal Gadot than Black Widow looked like ScarJo. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the two ScarJos, the black or the white suit, the head sculpts.
To be fair, I think people prefer the golden armor likeness to this one.
Say it again?
You know, the golden armor Wonder Woman. People, I
Yep.
think people tend to say that looks better than this one, like likeness wise.
Really?
I think that's the general sentiment. Yeah, I don't know if the rooted hair's got anything to do with it. But again, even with the rooted hair on that one, it doesn't look great. I prefer the hair on this one.
This is an interesting comment. John from Inart on Riley's stream said he couldn't confirm they'd be making a seamless body yet.
I caught that as well.
Unless they're making a jointed Wonder Woman, I don't think they're going to do that. He
didn't
when has John had the answers, in fairness? Like, God bless him.
Poor
like,
John.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's,
Poor John.
You know, it's, and again, like, he is giving up his time to go on the streams and stuff, and it is nice to see that communication, but obviously, then again, I kind of feel for the guy, because there's no way to predict the like 1 billion questions the 1/6 scale community has,
I know,
and answer them all realistically. You know what I mean?
He does his best, to be fair.
Yeah, and if he makes a promise, then he says, "Oh yeah, they're going to be doing that," but then the people who run the business change their mind, then
well,
he'll be hung, drawn and quartered. So the poor guy can't win, can he? Like, you know what I mean?
He said something about like he was a bit too honest. Like last, you know, when he did his last kind of group of like interviews and things, he said they were a bit too open, and he got into a bit of trouble for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said something along those lines. I don't know if you know he's being held to these kind of the things that he's saying, like, oh yeah, we're making a Wonder Woman, we're doing this, we're doing that, and then the guys are like, come on, like, we're still kind of trying to work all this stuff out.
There's an opportunity for them there as well to go, okay,
oh yeah,
this is what you can tell them, this is what you cannot talk about. So, like, you know, as in they should be, he's just maybe sit down and chat to him more. Maybe they do, I don't know, but just kind of say, like, this is what we want you to talk about, and just for these, just say we're not doing them, or we don't know, or whatever. Like, maybe give him a bit more direction, the poor guy. Like, but yeah.
Plus, like, everyone's so passionate, and you know, everyone who asks him a question is really passionate about, you know, the thing that they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. I suppose he doesn't want to, I don't know, let anyone down or anyone to get bummed out by, you know, oh, they're not doing this, they're not doing that.
You can't have all the answers, like.
Yeah.
And it's funny, it's like, you know, it's the collecting community would be like asking for these really obscure fringe characters. You know, it's like, I'm trying to think of a good example, like
this sort like Michael Knight from Knight Rider or some random shit like that. It's like,
yeah, but even like that's not even that obscure, like, do you know what I mean? But it is still fairly niche, like. But even like, you know, when you're talking about like an obscure science fiction film, and then you have someone in it. I'll give you an example, like is it Sam Neill from Event Horizon?
Event Horizon.
You know what I mean? It's like they're not going to do that because like 7 people will buy it. Okay, more people. I know Event Horizon's a great movie, and I like Sam Neill in it, and I actually want to watch that movie again. But like, they're not going to make money if they do that. Like they need to do the Jokers and the Batmans and
what's sold well before. What will continue to sell well.
Yeah, and then they can, you know, do the 4th extra in 122 minutes into Shawshank Redemption, the guy at the back with the harmonica, like, you know. So like,
definitely
they can't make any. So Wonder Woman, I was never going to get this, but Alan, do you reckon you'll pull the trigger on this or not?
I think I will at some point. Yeah, definitely. I think Ben mentioned before in the chat, like when it's discounted, he might jump on it, and I'm keeping my eye on the price as well. I've just bought the Batman Forever Batman. So that's kind of
I see.
eaten my little allowance for the next couple of months.
And what about Throbbing?
Throbbing, I'm okay with a Throbbing. You know, I think I'm leaving.
You're not going to get the complete package, no? God, like, would that
Sadly
not kind
not.
of like? Would that not kind of like niggle at you, going, "Oh, it'd be cool to have the two of them"? Like,
Ever so slightly, but I've got a vision in mind about just
Yeah.
having the Batman.
Right, yeah, gotcha.
He's
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd even take a Clooney at this point. I'm like, oh, and if
Yeah,
they ever
you
put,
could buy it with the back credit card.
there we go. Oh, don't leave the cave without it.
Yeah.
If they ever release that '89 Batman that they showed at Comic-Con last year.
I just realized I had this comment up. What went on in that film? I have not seen this film. Does this make sense to you? This is an amazing figure.
Yes.
But it reminds me of a scene where I have not. Does this happen in this film?
Technically. So,
I heard
do you want me to
about
give you?
this.
Do you want me to let you in on
Yeah,
what's
go
going
on.
on?
I don't mind about
Okay.
the spoilers. I doubt it's
So-
exactly like.
There's a whole thing about a stone that grants wishes, and long story short, she obviously wishes for Chris Pine, to be alive, to be back. But obviously with all the with all wish things, there's always a bit of a kind of like a twist to it, or like a like a negative. So basically it's kind of his spirit in some other guy's body. And I can't remember if I think we see him as Chris Pine, like the actor Chris Pine, but I think it's actually like the guy that he's possessed, or he's been put inside.
So is it Chris Pine inside this guy's physical
A
form?
different guy's head. Yeah, basically.
Right.
And I think that's one of the kind of like icky things about it. It's like it's this guy's just been chosen randomly.
He's a host.
Essentially, yeah.
Right. How did that
yeah.
get past HR? Right.
It's
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
a bit weird.
Jonathan King. What's wrong with Knight Rider?
Nothing.
Nothing is wrong with Knight Rider. I used to love Knight Rider when I was a kid, but I just don't think.
I don't think the
I just
kids would
don't
know
think
who
it's-
Knight Rider was.
Yeah, I just don't think they'd make their money back really. When you look at the amount of units that the Inart Joker is going to sell, and then compared to say something from, it's like making a MacGyver. There's some people who will buy it.
Speaking of MacGyver, I saw like I can't remember what the Instagram account was, but when people make these really sick kind of like customs of like really random characters, like Lawrence Fishburne in King of New York, someone made him, and they made MacGyver, and I was like, this it looked amazing.
And I bet you they made it out of like a match and some Scotch tape. It was just like MacGyver could do anything. It's like he'd take a paper clip, a AAA battery,
build a car with it.
Yeah, and like a pen top. It's like, and then he has a fully functioning helicopter. What a guy! One of the coolest theme tunes, in fairness. Like, yeah, I definitely I wanna go back and watch an episode of MacGyver, man. Just
to be fair, what's Richard Dean Anderson, isn't it? He played MacGyver.
Stargate as well, wasn't he?
Stargate. That's the thing that when I see his face, I just think of Stargate more than MacGyver.
Yeah,
but
MacGyver. I just get a really like warm feeling when I think of MacGyver, and I think of the theme tune, and watching it with my parents on like a Saturday night, being like, I'm talking like under 10, like it might be like 7, 8, like, and then like my mom, my dad, more so my mom going like, is there anything this guy can't do? Like,
what a guy. You see, I get that with Knight Rider, thinking back to like being in my nan's and Knight Rider being on stuff like that. It does take me back, to be fair.
Do people in the chat know who MacGyver is? Can you just give us like a little thumbs up or a gnarly sign or something in the chat if you know who MacGyver is? I wonder, can you get the box set? That'd be priceless.
I think you can.
Yeah, you probably can. Every time John does an interview, it feels like a pitch from Dragon's Den.
He's out every time.
Yeah. Mike says, Knight Rider is awesome. Honestly, Michael Knight and Luke Skywalker and synonymous lol. That's funny. All right, let's okay, so what was next on the docket? We had the Wonder Woman and then okay, Mando. We're just going to let this play. It's sound down and we're just going to play this through so it shouldn't get caught for a copyright strike. If it do, we do. Who cares? Who cares? So no sound. Just watch. Yeah, I see army building here. I see lots of army building. They're all the same, just with a few different colors and different shapes. Like,
I feel sorry for like everyone who collects that Mando stuff. To be fair.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm a non-believer when it comes to the N1 Starfighter, but it seems to be playing a pivotal role in this trailer.
Yeah, but I think
they
he's
have to give us a grief cargo.
Yeah.
I say that as if I'd buy it, but I won't. Do you think they'll do another 1-to-1 Baby Grogu?
No.
No?
No. Can't see it.
I think they made the Hot Toys one a little too cute. It was a bit cartoony.
It was very cute. Shiny saying that they can't see the video.
Oh, really? Oh, right, yeah. Sorry, that's because I'm a moron. Apologies. Right. All right, we'll start this again. I just watched it was being really selfish.
Everyone just forget.
Sorry. We're gonna try that again. We're gonna take the gloves off. All right, here we go. Share screen.
We just Shane's being super copyright safe. No sound. No video.
I'm describing it too. There's Mandalorians in it. Grogu's there. Yeah, the N1 is there. Don't worry, it's great. There's loads of explosions. Okay, sorry, we're gonna try that again. Okay, I believe we can all see it now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize. Sorry, John and King and everyone else.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, they're gonna make surely a selection of those. There's no head sculpts. They could be just random Mandalorian A. Random
that we know
Mandalorian
that
B.
we know of.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The N1's all over this, like.
I loved that. When I was a kid and Episode 1 came out, I loved the Naboo Starfighter so much. Don't know what it was. It was just so sleek.
It's slick. It's a very elegant look and design, like. And now they've even made it like, Fast and the Furious.
Even cooler, yeah.
Yeah. Although I did like there was something about the silver and the
yellow,
canary yellow. It was just elegant, like it's
badass.
real, like the Royal Starship Defender things, but like.
But now it's chromed out and cool.
Yeah.
That's like the weathering on the Chrome Mando.
That there, maybe an Order 66 flashback or something like that.
Definitely.
I think is there some TIE interceptors in this as well? The N1 Starfighter seems to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Heavy Mando there.
Yeah.
Is that Boba Frick?
I think so.
Seeking Geek would be delighted.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
And Grogu's taking no shit in this season.
Little badass.
Yeah. So, what do you think? What do you think is?
I think people are going to be very poor. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think every week we're going to see something else announced, and it's going to be fun to like sit back and think, "Oof, you guys are in trouble."
Yeah, we've got a lot of MacGyver fans.
Must be the age group.
Yeah, definitely. Just people in their 40s in this chat anyway. Imagine if Palpatine burned up Anakin into a car and drove him around and make sarcastic quips in a Vader voice every time Palps farts in the car. just that's random but funny. Are you showing the video? We can't see it. Yeah, I eventually carried the 2 on that one. I'm a deep doubter. I like that. A deep doubter of the N1 also. It'll come after the Vulture and Rhino. I do think the Vulture's coming. I think that's coming.
I think it's a bit more manageable, isn't it?
Yeah,
to
the
ship.
N1. I'm so skeptical of. It's.
Mm.
I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong, and I want them to release it for all the people that want it, and I want to watch the streams on it, and I want to see the price of it, and I want to see how big the box is going to be, and the detail and the light up features and what moves. I really want them to do it. I just don't think they will.
No.
But yeah, so I eventually got the trailer, Jonathan. Do you think they're going to actually do that N1?
No. I can't see it. I think it's one of those. What else have they shown? Very like Star Wars related. And it was just a glorified display piece. What was it? I think they've done the cockpit, haven't they? They've done the
They showed that. They also showed. They teased Anakin Starfighter, which looks really cool.
Yeah, that was the one I'm thinking of.
And dioramas as well. They've done that before, like kind of like Tatooine dioramas. I think from
that was really cool as well.
Yeah,
I remember seeing
that you could nearly fit that into DTAF, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
But Tally Meyer, you're dead right. I noticed that as well. It's just the third pram he's on, and they're sneaky as well because the OG Mando didn't come with the OG pram, and the first Beskar came with the OG pram. But by then, when he had the Beskar, there was a second pram he's supposed to have that Quill made from. That comes with the pack. So yeah, they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Loved the first two seasons, but kind of wish they ended the show. Where's the block button?
Get him out.
Get him out. No, it's all right. All opinions welcome, Martin. Even opinions that are wrong. No, I'm only joking. Yeah, that's fair enough. But I kind of wish they ended it after the show, after season 2, starting to feel like. Do you know what? I don't feel like that now, but I do see his point because season 2's finale was so well done. And someone, I think it was on John Campia, was saying, I think it was his wife was saying, like, do I have to watch Book of Boba Fett now? Because like a lot of people are going to be watching the trailer if they haven't watched the Book of Fett and go, whoa, why is Grogu back?
Yeah.
There was the whole big finale send-off. It was really emotional. People cried. I cried. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it was really like, do you know, he's giving his son away.
Yeah.
That's what's
big
best
moment
for him. And then suddenly got a fancy car, and now he's like wants to be a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Although my advice to those people would be watch episodes 6 and 7 of the Book of Boba. Sorry, 5 and 6 of the Book of Boba Fett.
That's what I told my manager.
Yeah,
he hadn't seen it. He hadn't seen Boba Fett, and at the time it was on. I said, "Oh, it's a bit rough, but 2 episodes in particular you need to watch. They are must watches." And he finally got around to watching Boba Fett, like I think last week, like over Christmas essentially. And he said, "Oh, I really enjoyed it. I was like, "Oh, okay. Didn't expect you to say that." But but those 2 episodes,
at least you didn't waste someone's time, you know.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, what I might do actually, the missus is staying with her parents tonight, so I might actually sit down and watch that Last of Us. I think I've got to get a subscription for Now TV.
Yeah,
have you
I'll
seen
have
it?
to do the same. I haven't seen it. I played the game. It's literally one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, because I know, I think the only way I can watch it if I don't get like an illegal stream or whatever is because I kind of like, I don't mind paying a few euro for like to watch it on my screen and not have pop-ups and have like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't want to see pixelated crap. Like I want to actually see it properly.
That's exactly where my head's at as well. I've got it. I've got Now TV. I've got the Sky Movies and things, that package. So obviously you have to buy a separate package to watch Sky Atlantic. And I'm very tempted to do it because I've heard such amazing things. And the game is just brilliant. Yeah. Both of them.
I'm a bit worried though, because I like, say when you take someone like, say, Liel, his collecting is based in his love of comic books. It stemmed from the comic books, whereas like my collecting stems from my love of film. But like if I see like a film I really like and it's based in a comic book, I'll usually make my business to go back and like find out how that character started on the page. What did they actually look like? You know, like what was the color code on the costume? Like how was the sketches drawn? What were those original stories like? What were the villains like? And then I love like kind of going, okay, so Christopher Nolan kept this about year one with the bats, or it kept the character, Flash or whatever, but then he ditched something else because it mightn't work. And I loved that, going, oh, that's where he got that, and I can see why he left that bit out because it mightn't work or whatever. So for this, I'm so scared because I'm not a gamer that I might go, I gotta buy this game, and then I gotta buy a PS5 or whatever, and then I've got to move out because I'll be thrown out of my house. You know what I mean?
To be fair,
yeah.
There are documentaries on YouTube about the making of the games and stuff, so you could potentially just watch things like that. And there's so much about that because The Last of Us came out in 2013, the original one, that obviously this series is based on. Yeah, it's been out a long time. And there's so much, I don't want to say literature, but the visual literature that you could watch on YouTube. There's people, talking about it. There's the developers and the actors talking about it, and how where the concept came from, and so much stuff that you could watch after the fact if you wanted to go deep on it and not play the game.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense, maybe.
Yeah, I'll send. Do you know what? I'll send you.
Do you know what? Something else. It's like that all sounds very logical, but something about going back and spending time engaging with the original media, I feel like I'm giving it the time and respect it deserves. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, totally. Yeah,
it's like with Clone Wars, I'm I'm just finished season 2, I'm on season 3, and I know it gets good around season 4, and people go, if I had €1 for every time someone said, you can just watch the key episodes and they're all online, I just won't. I refuse to skip.
I'm the same.
To skip. Oh, yeah.
I'm the same. But yeah, sorry, I'm a massive fan of The Last of Us, so you've really kind of touched the button there.
Yeah.
I bought it when it came out on the PS3. I bought it when they did a kind of a slight remaster on the PS4.
Cool.
I'm tempted to buy the PS5 version. I'm all in. It's such the story itself is brilliant, and it's kind of though they have the conversations of are video games considered art. This is definitely, whenever that topic is mentioned, these games are in the conversation.
Yeah,
because of the story and because of the acting and stuff. It is what's the word? It's another level basically. And the second one, especially, I know a lot of people hate that game for certain reasons, which I won't go into, spoilery reasons. And I know Will Foxwell isn't a big fan of it.
But he quotes The Last of Us as his favorite IP, I think.
Yeah.
So he's like a diehard fan. So
he's big into it.
Yeah.
But the second one, a story hasn't affected me in any medium ever the way that story did when it was all said and done. It was insane. I've never been affected by a film that way before, or anything. It's just.
I need to check this out. I'm just going to address some of these super chats. No, it's good. That's what you're here for. The Book of Boba Fett. The way I describe the Book of Boba Fett is, I would recommend The Mandalorian to a Star Wars fan and to a non-Star Wars fan. Grogu will bring you in. The Mandalorian might bring you in. Grogu will keep you there. And Grogu is the little Trojan horse that you can use to get your wife or girlfriend into the entire saga. But Book of Boba Fett, I would recommend to neither. I just wouldn't. I would say watch 5 and 6, but I couldn't give it my stamp of approval to a Star Wars fan. I couldn't give my stamp of approval to a non-Star Wars fan. But episode 5 and 6, they're basically Mandalorian 2.5. CC Toys did a great Joel and Ellie 1/6 figures, two of my favorite figures ever made by any company. Good stuff. Haven't played the game, so terrified to watch the show until I do. Fair enough. Do yourself a favor, says Brandon Salah. Go and watch The Last of Us. I think I may do that. I've been living under a rock. I know nothing about The Last of Us. Apparently they don't have the original Star Wars trilogy under that rock as well, Mike. Is that correct? Last of Us Part 2 was a masterclass. Last of Us first episode is a masterpiece. This is it's getting
high
serious.
praise.
98% reviews. I know percentages, it's all subjective, but I'm hearing lots of good things. Part 2 is super divisive. I presume they're talking about the actual game there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The fact you're actually playing versus watching The Last of Us Part 2 is obviously immersive and weighted with emotion. Okay, good stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that has a lot to do with it as well. But I think the story itself could stand, as a kind of, not as an interactive medium. I think you could still watch, and you'd still get the same emotions, and it'd still have the same effect. Not the same effect. There is something about doing certain things and having the story effect. You're interacting with it, so it's obviously feels like you feel a lot closer to it. But I think the story's so good. If they did kind of go that route in the series, I think it would still be just as impactful. So
Cool. Good stuff.
sorry.
No,
I gush about this.
You're a diehard
It's
fan.
strange. As I said, but I feel so close to it, and like when I got off the train the other day, I walked down this big ramp and then out of the train station, and there was a massive billboard with The Last of Us on it, and I thought, like, I felt really kind of protective of it. I was like, everyone's seeing this, like everyday people are seeing this, and I'm like, don't badmouth it. Do you know what I mean? Love this, like I love this. It's strange for everyone, people who haven't played it, to be exposed to the characters and the world and all that. It's very,
Yeah, I can see the elitist conversations already. The diehard people like yourself, and then like, Johnny, myself, just comes in and watches it, and like, you weren't there from the start.
Not in a gatekeeping kind of way, but more. I really want people to see the story and where it goes. But it's one of those ones where I'm like, please be nice to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't be mean to it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna look. I am looking forward to it. So,
Me too.
I'm just gonna tell a short story. So that Aragorn was so good. I spent the weekend. I just wanted to chill out over the weekend. I had to work Saturday as well, and then I was like, right, I'm done after I finished Saturday. And myself and my girlfriend rewatched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Went theatrical cuts.
Yeah.
There was only so many hours in the day, and it was amazing. It was just such a good weekend. Just chilled out, watched the movies, enjoyed it, got a takeaway, grand.
Nice.
And when all was said and done, I still decided no. As much as I love that trilogy, no, I can't place an order for Aragorn. I just don't. It's a funny thing to say, because I recognize they are great movies. I thoroughly enjoy them. I'll watch them again. I'll watch them multiple times. And I love the movies, but I'm just not a diehard Lord of the Rings fan in general. So no, I've resisted the FOMO on that. The DeLorean, my love of collecting is based in my love of films. And I think this is one of the most iconic vehicles in cinema history.
100%.
I've seen the original, I keep saying original trilogy, but the Back to the Future trilogy multiple times.
Hopefully it'll be the original trilogy.
Yeah. I say that as if they've done a remastered version, which I hope they never do. So I'm going back and watching these again. Now, I've watched the first one, the second one, and I'm going to watch the third one as well. I've seen them multiple times already. And this, I think it's the thought of having this piece of cinema in my collection room is just really appealing. And like, I've taken measurements on it. It's not the biggest vehicle. I cannot buy something to keep it in a box. I want to display it. And this room it's quite small, but there is a space that I could use for it. But I'm going to flick through some of these images, and do you want to just give me your opinions on it? Do you have any interest in this? This is not a piece that you can just FOMO into willy-nilly, like in space.
No, you don't accidentally end up with a DeLorean, I don't think.
Yeah, you definitely don't. Like, it's not like the middle aisle in Lidl. Do you have Lidl or Lidl over in England?
Oh yeah, Aldi,
Yeah.
Lidl.
It's like you go in for like milk and some bread, and you come out with a fishing line.
Yeah, or a
chainsaw and a
dinghy or
leaf
something,
blower.
a little boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something that you accidentally click buy on. I mean, look at the weathering on the kind of, I don't know what you call them, on the back kind
The
of the
thrusters.
yeah,
Yeah.
so cool.
Looks like a bit of rust or something,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Mr. Fusion.
Don't get me
All
wrong,
these
like
little bits of class.
it is absolutely amazing to look at. It's superb. I would never get it. I think it's one of those where, like, I do love the films, but not enough to that looks sick. Not enough to go all out and pick something like this up. Much as I'd love to, it would be so cool that, you know, if I had a massive collection space, it would look great, like on an island in the middle of the space. You know what I mean? Like loads of vehicles.
Yeah.
But
It's recreating the movie poster there.
Yeah. It's so badass, isn't it? Look at that.
It's you know what it is, like, as much as it's the shape of the car is cool, like these were made in Belfast.
Really?
Like the
DeLorean
they're Irish made, yeah. They're made in Belfast. The DeLorean, like as in DeLorean, the car company.
Yeah.
I believe it was. I'm gonna do a quick Google. I just always doubt myself then. So yeah, they were made in Belfast, I believe.
Right. It is a true icon, isn't it?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I have this right and not talking crap. I believe they're made in Belfast. I can't see. Yeah, the DeLorean Motor Company. It says Texas. Where did I get Belfast from? There's some connection there that they have. I'm just reading the thing here. So the DeLorean Motor Company it says it was an American automobile manufacturer formed by the automobile industry executive John DeLorean in 1975. Remember for its model, the DeLorean gullwing doors. Oh, I can't remember what is the.
There's a link
Belfast.
somewhere. Yeah.
There's a link there. Production is different ones. Because I remember watching this TV show. It's called Reading in the Ears, about Irish history. And they were explaining, I think they had a manufacturing plant, maybe some of them were made in. I just feel like I need to. Yes, okay, I have it here. DeLorean also sought lucrative incentives from governments and economic organizations to pay for manufacturing facilities by looking to build the first factory in the area of particularly high unemployment. So Republic of Ireland, then Minister Industry for Commerce Desmond O'Malley decided not to support the deal. So there was something manufacturing facility. Yeah, no, I'm totally getting sidetracked here. I sorry folks, we'll get back to our normal scheduling when I prove myself right. In October 1978, construction of the 6 buildings manufacturing plant began in Northern Ireland. It was designed and managed by Brodie and Hawthorne Architects in Belfast, constructed in 16 months. A test proving track was also constructed next to the factory, officially known as DeLorean Motor Cars Limited. So in Belfast, yeah. So they were in Belfast. I was under pressure there. Sorry, folks.
Had to be done.
Yeah, but this is just, man. People in the chat, are there any humans in the chat who have this on the way? Is there anyone in the chat who are like, yeah, I've already bought this. This is on its way. You know, just flick through some of these chats here. Focus, I've seen a New Hope. I have one credit. Yeah, just two more. The Empire Strikes Back's the best one. Watch it today. What else do we have? Yo, Alan, we got to talk Last of Us soon. Yeah, there you go. Recommend Chris. This will never be complete without at least one Biff. Yeah. Why did you make like a tree and get? Yeah, it's brilliant.
I'd love to see a Biff.
Biff's brilliant. Yeah. Beautiful car, amazing film. Not for me. Yeah. I have to have this. I vividly remember my grandfather dying in 1989, the day before Part 2 came out. I was 13. That is, oh man, that is sad. I remember I was worried about not seeing the movie, then going to the funeral. All right. Wow, you really wanted to see that movie, Ken. But it's mad how our memories we associate memories
like
with
anchor points, aren't they? And just go
yeah
right back there.
Yeah. Empire Strikes Again, it was definitely built in Ireland. I was definitely doubting myself there, because it's something new when you believe something and you keep saying it for years and you realize, no, that's not true. Someone just said that to you when you were a kid to wind you up. Yeah. If this car doesn't fit Morbius in it, no one will buy it. Yeah, to send him back to the past so he was never made, is it? So, yeah, like, yeah, so you're this is not something that is remotely on your radar, no?
No, I don't think. I think the max vehicle, the biggest vehicle I'll ever own is the Batpod, which is up there on top of the D-tops, and that's it. I could never.
It's the only one that I own, actually.
Yeah.
And it looks fantastic and I love it, but it's still bloody big.
It's big, isn't it? Those wheels look awesome.
Yeah, they're huge.
It's the only one I'll ever own. Just 'cause of the size, they're just too big, too expensive. Much as I'd love to have it. I mean, this is such a showpiece, isn't it? Like,
yeah, no, this here's, but this is like one of the smaller vehicles. It's only 72 centimeters long. Yeah. It's not that. What 72 centimeters still like nearly 3/4 of a meter, like what have you? Like it's still. You can't just like there's so much to consider. Obviously, there's the price, the shipping. For us, there's the customs. So you're talking north of $1,000 easily. And then there is the where are you actually going to put it? I think it's sacrilegious to buy this and store it somewhere, and you have to display it. And then you want to make sure you can display it where you can like power it, because it's USB. And then you also want, are you going to get the figures to go with it, or I think this one you could display without the figures, because
yeah, potentially you could have some like spotlights on it or something. Do you know what I mean? It would look sick as fuck. Little machine.
Yeah, but we are figure collectors, so you'll naturally either want to go back and get the Back to the Future figures, or do you hold out for reissues while the other ones increase in the secondary market? And then what do you do with the box? Do you throw that box right out? Do you keep the box? Do you know?
I mean, you'd have to keep the box. You've got to at least keep the art box. Speaking of art,
this is one of the ones that I'd be like I get rid of all my shippers, gone. I keep the art box, I keep the plastic, I keep everything. I throw away nothing, but I throw away the art. I don't throw away. I throw away the shippers, because they've done their job. They get the art box me in one piece.
Yeah.
But with this, like, I think if this came into the collection, I'd nearly get rid of the box.
I mean, I suppose.
But then you are screwing yourself if you want to sell it. But I don't know. See, this is the thing, Alan. This is why I shouldn't get this. I should be buying things that I'd be like, no, I've no interest in selling it. Do you know what I mean? So that's one of the little things that I'd be going, no, if you even are considering selling it.
Yeah, if you're thinking of a backup plan, like,
no.
How could I sell this on?
Yeah. But what were you going to say? Sorry, I cut you off.
I can't remember. No, it was the Doc Brown box, the art box didn't have Doc Brown anywhere on it. That was very confusing to me. It was just the DeLorean all over it.
Oh, so did you got Doc Brown? Did you?
No. But like watching reviews and stuff, and they're showing the box art and stuff. I'm like, Doc Brown isn't on the box at all. It's just images of the DeLorean, like on the art box, and then we flip it up, and then on the inside, it's just the DeLorean. I'm like, this isn't the DeLorean. This is Doc Brown. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that was. I don't know. Very weird. Very weird. I suppose he had holes in his head, so they couldn't really show the head sculptor.
There's that.
Oh, I saw a really awesome. I can't remember who the Instagram account is, but there was like a custom Doc Brown head sculpt with like bleached hair. Oh, it looks so good. I think I shared it.
I've seen that. It looks very well.
It looks so good, and it was like a more serious expression. Mm-hmm. So cool.
Yeah. What did you what did you had something you were wrestling with a bit of FOMO there. What was it?
It's the Chrome Mandalorian.
The Chrome Mandalorian. Okay, well, I'm just gonna get that up there.
I really want it.
It's the Chrome Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It's the head sculpt drawing you in, I'd say, as well, isn't it?
Definitely the head sculpt, but it's also just the chrome. And I've seen people like clean it up. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause it is very weathered. And I've seen people like, I don't know what to use on it, like alcohol or something, and get some of the more aggressive dirt off of it, and it looks so fucking cool. It looks really.
I have this here now. I'm just gonna pop it up there.
I think it's the spear as well. I just love the idea of the spear and the dark saber. It just looks so good.
And you're saying people are actually shining it up.
Yeah.
So they weathered it a bit too much. Yeah, because it wasn't weathered in the show, wasn't it? It was pretty damn shiny.
To be fair, in the trailer for the new season, it does look a bit more like this. I got that vibe, but yeah, I think they have gone a little bit heavy-handed on the weathering on this one.
Mm-hmm.
It still looks awesome. I really want. I think if I was going to get one, I would get it without the crossbar and all the Boba Fett stuff.
I'd be the opposite then, because I think this display is amazing.
Yeah.
Pop it up there, leave it there for a year. That's what I'd be thinking. Like,
you're a big Boba Fett fan, aren't you? So like,
yeah.
That, but I mean, to me, I'm just all about Mando with the spear and the dark saber. I'm good with that. That's such a good photo. I love that.
So I'm leaning on my FOMO to go, no, I think I need to stay in my lane and put that money towards something that I'm just loving.
Yeah.
So where are you with your FOMO? Do you think you're going to pull the trigger? Are you leaning towards you're going to FOMO in or FOMO out?
So a little bit, going a bit personal. I've been a freelance photographer for 9 years, and I've worked for one company for the whole 9 years, and I think they're finally giving me a contract and making me full time.
Brilliant! Congratulations!
Cheers, man. It's taken nearly 10 years, but we got there. And I think with a more stable wage, that first paycheck might come in.
Yeah. So what you're saying basically is treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah,
man.
And that's brilliant. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. It's something I've wanted for a long time. The freelance life it's not for me. And with like 3 kids and stuff.
Yeah.
If I'm ill and I don't go to work, like I don't get paid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I don't get
paid. No, I get you. So you're looking at this right now and you're just yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Good
stuff. Well, I think you should personally do that and treat yourself after nailing that down.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Yeah. Buy yourself a DeLorean while you're at it as well.
Jesus Christ. I couldn't possibly.
Yeah. So we got one FOMO. I'm FOMOing out. I'm not going to do it. And Alan is dead right, FOMOing in. Okay, so the last bit we're going to chat about, we've kind of wrapped this up quick enough. Like, I typically don't sell. Do you sell much?
Not really. No, I have sold. I sold a bunch in 2020, and some I sold that I regretted, and some that I didn't. But typically, I get very sentimental about them. Do you know what I mean? I bought them for a reason. Usually, there's only a few where I could look at them and think, I got caught up in the hype on that one.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a perfect segue. So what figures if you had to put 3 on the chopping block?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to put 3 on the chopping block, so like when I do visions, the question I like to finish on is what your 3 fire figures, your favorite figures, the ones that you'd rescue from fire, the ones that if you sold everything, you could probably still hang on to the 3 of them. So this is the opposite. Like, if you maybe needed money, or maybe you wanted to make space, or maybe you've fallen out of love with them, or realized you got hyped in and you just maybe you box them away, and you're like, no, these I haven't thought about these. It's time for these to go and make a bit of money on them.
Yep.
You know, or make 40% less than what you pay. That's the reality. Like, you know, you just have to accept it, I suppose, unless you've got you're selling a G-bomb. What would they be?
Right. So I've actually been putting some thoughts into this because with Joker inbound, I've been trying to, like, you know, make some room and looking at the stuff that I've got and thinking, you know, I could do with a little bit of extra money. I could do with the extra space, definitely. And some of them I've been looking at and thinking, you're a potential to go. And I think the first one would be the Thor Ragnarok Gladiator Thor. I have that.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people like that, and that's creeping up in value, I think, is it?
Is it? To be fair, I
think it is.
I haven't gone deep into, like, looking at how much these are worth.
Last time I checked, that was 10 grand.
Still tomorrow. Yeah, no, I'm looking at that. That one's a potential for, like, if you know, if I sell any, that would be definitely one of them. And just because I have Infinity War and Endgame Thor as well, and I look at that one and I think, you're a very kind of specific Thor. Do you know what I mean? And I prefer the other two. So that's definitely one. The next one would be the black and gold suit Spider-Man from the Inside Out suit, basically.
Yeah.
What we didn't know when we bought it was just it was just the red and black suit put inside out, which is so cool, to be fair. I remember seeing it on screen and thinking, I nudged my my wife and I said, it's Inside Out. Like, we've been thinking, like, what is this red and gold, this black and gold?
Yeah. We thought it was from Wakanda. Very Eric Killmonger vibes, like.
Yeah. So I think definitely I kind of fell into the hype with that one. I think the novelty of this is coming out before the film, and I was like, oh well, you know, I'm super hyped for the film. I just want to own a piece of it, and bought it. And obviously, how far removed are we now? Like, what, 2 years from it?
A year and just over a year, really. They came out in November. So
right,
2 months, 14 months,
I look at it and I think, you're not as iconic as I thought you were going to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Plus, you know, I've got the Homecoming suit. I've got the black and red. What do they call it? Is it the advanced suit? Is that? It's not the advanced suit. That was the PlayStation.
The integrated suit.
No.
The kind of blue, the shiny traditional final suit.
No, just the black and red one. From Far From Home.
The upgraded suit.
Upgraded suit. Sorry, yeah. So many adjectives for these suits. I have that one. I've got the Homecoming one. I've got the homemade suit. I look at that one and I think, if I was going to sell any, I'd probably sell that one.
So that's this. Are you still talking about the black and gold one?
Yeah. Because I own the others.
Yeah. Gladiator Thor, the black and gold Spider-Man suit, and what was the third one?
Third one, that was a tough one, to be fair. I think if I had to sell, it would be the Infinity War Thanos, because I have that one and the Endgame version, just the clean one. And of the two of them, if I had to choose between the two, I would keep the armored Thanos, because I just really prefer that look.
Same.
The helmet,
the battle damage one though.
Yeah,
you got the clean one, yeah.
I just there's something like about that look with the giant, like, gleaming sword.
He's going to war.
Essentially, so I think they would be my three. And now that now that we've had this conversation, I'm seriously considering now selling all three of them.
Yeah. I suppose, like, it's I've seen a lot of collectors, what they do is they like I know what Anthony does is if he's considering selling something, he'll box it up and he'll leave it there for like 2 weeks. And if he misses it in his collection, you know, he'll be like, okay, no, I'm not going to sell it. But if he doesn't, he'd be like, yeah, it's time to go, which is a great idea, really.
Yeah. To be fair, I do have the Age of Ultron Captain America boxed up, and I have had since I got the Endgame version. But I just can't bring myself to get rid. I think it's I love the novelty of the magnetic shield. It's such a good like innovation. I wish they'd just kept.
It's a very simple thing they should have kept.
Yeah, and you know, I know it's not accurate. It was to Age of Ultron. It was accurate to that. But yeah, those straps. I think I've broken one of them, like just trying to clip it into the little, you know, clip to get it, you know, to get Cap to hold it. But yeah, I think it was the second figure I ever got in 2015, and I just can't bring myself to sell it, much as I'd like to, and get some extra money. But
sorry, I think I just dipped out there for a second. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So it was just the second figure I ever got, and it's that's the sentimental thing. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember getting it. I had the Mark 43, and then that was my second ever figure, and I was just blown away both times. Do you know what I mean? And you never forget.
Yeah, I get you.
Do you know what I mean? It's.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. The it's just like it's I really don't sell. I don't buy that much really. Like, but I don't consider. Well, I suppose in comparison really, but we could all say that. Like I could count on one hand the figures I've sold, and it's usually to get something significantly better. Like I sold the DX02 because that was the only hot toy I ever unboxed where I was like, I'm really disappointed in this. I worked backwards. I overpaid. It was. I'm not even going to go into it. It was a shit show. So I sold it off, anticipating a better version. Luckily, DX19 significantly better, like chalk and cheese. I sold the original version of the Joker, anticipating a better version. Didn't realize Inart didn't anticipate that. So that's looking like a good bet. I had 2 upgraded suits, and I sold one because I had the battling version come in, the oil change Spidey as I call him, like because like that's multiple, like because I got a second upgraded suit because I had this one posed in the museum, and I was like, I really like that suit and I don't want to go messing around with it. But then I got the Mysterio drones as a gift, and I was like, I really want one to just play around with and stuff. And then I saw the battling version. I was like, right, okay, it makes sense to sell one of the upgraded because the battling version is the upgraded, just, you know, worn out, so it's grand. So, you know, just simple things like that. Yeah, if I had to sell 3, 2 of mine are fairly obvious because I only have 2 third-party figures, and it's just one of them is a bank robber Joker, and it's fine. It's actually looks quite good, like, and I don't look at it really and go, God, that's significantly that. Oh God, that looks like an eyesore. It holds its own compared to the Hot Toys, to be honest. Really, but cool. I just feel when that Joker comes on the scene, it's just going to blow away. The bank robber's not going to get a look in, like, you know what I mean? And it wouldn't be the most outrageous thing for Hot Toys to do a bank robber 3.0 or do a nurse Joker or something.
I love the mask.
Yeah, it's simple, and I think that mask featured in a 1966 Batman episode. That's the throwback. Yeah. So that'd be one. The bank robber Joker would potentially be on the chopping block. I have also a Daft Toys kit Bane, so it's an Bison M35 and the Bane, the Daft Toys traditional Bane kit with the coat and stuff. Doesn't look bad at all, but I don't look at it that much. And I think part of the reason is because I know that the proportions on the M35 are more like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Bane, Tom Hardy, he had a bit of a belly on him. Like, he was big traps, but his shape was more rounder. Like, he wasn't. So the proportions and the accuracy there, I didn't think they would. But over time, they've started to kind of go, nah, it's not the same. And who knows, maybe Hot Toys do a 3.0 or 2.0 Bane, I think it'd be, and beef them up a bit, or give swap out arms maybe, or who knows, maybe in time Inart do a proper Bane.
I hope they do, man. I really
that'd be just be amazing. So they'd be the two that would be on the chopping block. The third one then, like, I find it really difficult because there's nothing I look at and go, ooh. But the third one, if I had to, the third one might be the heavy Mandalorian.
Really?
It could be. Like, it's a really cool looking figure, like, but it's one I have boxed on. It's not in rotation at the moment. It's not displayed at the moment. And, like, okay, I'm never going to have 200 figures. Like,
yeah,
I'm not, unless I go Marju case, which,
to be fair,
yeah,
I think seeing these like huge displays, it's just
something gets lost. They need space to breathe, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely think, I don't want to mention anyone's names, but you see these collectors and there's just like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and it's just like my eye doesn't. It's just too much. I can't.
Yeah.
You don't. Obviously yours is a lot cleaner than mine, but they're just framed so well. Do you know what I mean? That one piece.
There's a bit of space around them. I get you. Yeah. I get you.
I much prefer smaller collections to see.
Yeah, but then again, you've only like one or two. Like, I gave you a few with three, like in the display. It's not as if they're just all shoehorned in there. Like, you know what I mean?
That's it.
I get what you mean. Space is important. Like, but it's you see. All it takes is a few episodes of Mandalorian season 3 and him just like, absolutely destroy a few stormtroopers, and then it's like, all right, yeah, I got that fight back. I'm gonna pose him up a bit different, like, but yeah, I suppose that's the fact, like, to think about it, the direction is going. Sometimes, like, trimming the fat in your collection. The two third parties would be the ones that they'd be on the chopping block first anyway. Like I said, that Inart Joker, the poor bank robber Joker won't get a look in, and the proportions in the Bane, I'd be lying if I said they weren't. Yeah, they're kind of a bit like. It's still good looking though, but it's just
the overall look of it is great.
Something's amiss.
Yeah, but he's it's that body shape. It's a very particular body shape, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got kind of a belly almost, like.
Yeah, and he's kind of like arched. His back kind of arches out.
Yeah.
It
does. He's very
very shoulder heavy.
Yeah. Well, folks, that pretty much brings us to the end then. So, thanks very much, obviously, to Alan for coming on. Thanks very much to everyone who's watched our comments. No problem. We might try to get a weekly thing going with this and seeing how we get on. Might actually change the name. Have like the usual streams I do are called The Focus. I might actually get some sort of a different name for this time slot. We'll see how we get on, but that's pretty much it. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to @the6scale gallery. Follow @the6scale gallery on Instagram, and subscribe to 6scale gallery on YouTube. What you just put up a video recently. Do you want to tell them what it is?
Yeah, so it's comparing the DX19 Bruce Wayne head sculpt to a kind of custom version. I think that's what my channel is going to be focused very heavy on head sculpts and like likenesses and things like that. So that's what I've got going at the minute. Stuff. Gonna do like a little bit of a collection tour at some point. I know that's kind of like everyone does one. But I was playing around the other day and I was like, yeah, I think I'll do one as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like everyone loves a good collection tour. Yeah. But now that's great. So if you haven't followed the 6scale gallery on Instagram, definitely go over there and give Alan a follow. You won't regret it. Some fantastic photography. And subscribe to the 6scale gallery on Instagram. Obviously, if you have been watching the channel and you like the content, subscribe and like the video and subscribe to the channel. And that's pretty much it. We are out. So I'd see you next Tuesday, folks. Good luck.